Tonight on News 3 New Mexico, Tim Keller gets another 4 years lead as mayor of Albuquerque.
And is this cloudy weather here to stay? Find out in my full weather forecast.
Also, some U.S. governors set to attend United Nations Climate Change Conference in Glasgow. News 3 New Mexico starts right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Good evening and welcome to News 3 New Mexico. I am Olayinka Sodunke. Starting with politics, Tim Keller is getting another 4 years lead as mayor of Albuquerque. The Albuquerque native won a second term as mayor on Tuesday, according to unofficial results. Keller had 56% of the vote. Bernalillo County Sheriff Manuel Gonzalez at 26%, while radio station owner and conservative talk show host Eddie Argan had 18%. Keller ran for re-election, which cited what he said was a solid foundation built during his term as mayor and strong performance during the pandemic. The mayor faces challenges, including Albuquerque breaking its annual homicide record for the second time in 3 years as a growing homelessness epidemic and a metro unemployment rate. However, property crime is falling and it has experienced strong recent growth in its gross receipt tax. Still staying with the election, a majority of Albuquerque voters support mandates requires employees to be vaccinated against COVID-19 or on-the-go weekly testing. That's according to Albuquerque Journal poll. 63% of voters said that they support COVID-19 vaccine mandates, whereas 32% shared their opposition. The governor issued an executive order in July that requires state employees to be fully vaccinated or do weekly testing. An order issued in August that mandates hospital workers and school employees be vaccinated or risk losing their jobs. Now, Roosevelt County Road Department began work west of a leather road today and say it will take up to 6 weeks. Work on South Roosevelt Road 19 from South Roosevelt Road AQ to South Roosevelt Road Avenue will include resurfacing work and may be completed by December the 16th. Drivers are asked to drive slowly in the work area and look out for equipment and workers. For more information, you can contact 575-356-5942. All 5 of Curry County volunteer fire departments have received grants ranging from $100,000 to $300,000. The County Fire Administration has received $25,000 for help in recruiting and retraining volunteer firefighters. According to a news release, the total of all the grants from the New Mexico Fire Protection Grant Fund was more than $1.5 billion. The funded projects include money for water storage upgrades, new fire apparatus, communication upgrades, volunteer firefighter, and retention programs. In Roosevelt County, the Hause Fire Department received $22,000 for communications upgrade. Scott, it's been a very cold week. Tell me, is there going to be a warm weather this week?
I think your wishes are about to be granted because if we go take a look at some of these maps, we can see starting tomorrow, we will see an increase in temperature across the entire state basically, but I want to pinpoint the southeast in particular because we will be seeing a high of 67 in Clovis and a 68 in Portales. Back to Olayinka at the desk.
Many thanks, Scott. Now, Democratic lawmakers have voted to ban firearms at New Mexico State Capitol building, with few exemptions starting next month. The new ban on various knives, brass knuckles, and sharpened canes take effect on December the 6th. The gun ban applies to most people, including legislators and staff inside the State House. The changes were approved by a vote of 8-5 in a panel of leading lawmakers. Republicans voted in unison against the changes. Republican House Minority Leader James Townsend said that the proposal would unfairly deny legislators and staff the ability to defend themselves. Senate Majority Leader Peter Wright of Santa Fe, author of the rules, acknowledged that he has felt frightened and intimidated by people carrying firearms inside the Capitol. Now, national data shows that homicide is the fifth leading cause of death for American Indian and Alaskan Native women who are between 25 and 34 years old. Organizers with the Coalition to Stop Violence Against Native American Women say the cause of this began with colonization and long-standing history of violence. American Indian women face murder rates that are 10 times higher than the national average, and statistics show that 4 out of 5 Native American women are affected by violence. Gallup, Farmington and Albuquerque are allegedly where most of these women have disappeared from. Law enforcement's jurisdiction is a struggle, and most cases go cold. A hearing examiner has advised New Mexico legislators to reject Spanish energy company Iberola's proposal to buy the state's largest utility, public service company of New Mexico. Under the proposed merger, Iberola would acquire PNM Resources along with its subsidiaries in New Mexico and Texas, affecting nearly 800,000 homes and businesses. According to hearing examiner, the financial resources of Iberola are outweighed by their issues in reliability and legal misconduct, with the company's executives being investigated for alleged bribery, breach of privacy and fraud. Experts suggest that New Mexico can serve as a platform for producing power for a larger surrounding market under Iberola, but critics state concerns about the state customers being a secondary consideration for the company looking to expand into the American energy market. Now, stay tuned for weather with Scott and full weather report after the break, but first, here's a look at the financial market.
Welcome back, Eastern New Mexico. I'm Scott Hause, and this is your full weather report. So, taking a look at some of our current temperatures, we can see it's still pretty chilly out there at 55 in Raton, 57 in Clayton, and 59 in Tucumcari. Taking a look down to the southwest, we can see 71 in Truth or Consequences. Silver City is at 70 and 73 in Las Cruces, so it's looking like it's a little warmer down there. However, if we go to the southeastern portion of the state, we can see 50 in Clovis, 51 in Portales, and 50 down in Hause, and it has been chilly lately. So let's take a look at tonight's lows, and we will continue our trend of chilliness. So 32 in Farmington, 27 in Gallup, and 34 in Santa Fe. We'll look at 39 in Socorro tonight, 41 in Ruidoso, and 40 in Alamogordo and Las Cruces. Taking a look down to the southeast, we can see 36 in Clovis and 38 in Portales and 34 in Hause. So make sure to bring your animals inside tonight. All right, taking a look at tomorrow's highs, we can see a slight increase in temperature throughout the state. We can see 65 in Farmington, 66 in Gallup, and 64 in Santa Fe. Going down to the southeast, that's where we'll really see the increase in temperature at 67 in Clovis and 68 in Portales. A nice 70 in Tucumcari. Now let's take a look at the 7-day forecast for the lovely city of Carlsbad. We can see tomorrow on Thursday it'll be 65 and sunny, and they'll be heating it up to 78 and sunny on Friday. This weekend will be a little cloudy, but nothing too chilly at 77 and 82. On Wednesday it'll be 77. Taking a look at Tucumcari, we can see it'll be 70 degrees on Thursday, 76 on Friday, and 80 and 82 to have your weekend. Taking a look at the Roswell 7-day forecast, we can see 67 and cloudy tomorrow, 78 and sunny on Friday, and a very sunny, warm weekend ahead for Roswell. Wrapping it up with Portales' 7-day forecast, we can see 78 tomorrow with a little bit of sunshine, 76 on Friday, 79 and 80 on Saturday and Sunday, and we can probably be seeing those clouds back again to start our week next week.
Pretty interested. I think I'm looking forward to the weekend right now. I'm happy to see the 79 and the 80, for the weekend, but the weather right now is just, I'm enjoying this. No, not at all.
I gotta say, I love the cold weather, so like weather like this, waking up to it, it's just wonderful.
Okay, we are not on the same table then.
Not on the same page.
Okay then, we'll be back after this short break. Welcome back. Now, last week, President Joe Biden announced the framework of the $1.85 trillion spending bill, which includes climate change and the nation's social safety net. The bill would also mandate tax credits for electric vehicles, make pre-kindergarten universal, and extend the child tax credit by 1 year. The new framework is a scaled-back version of Democrats' more previous $3.5 trillion proposal. Aid, family, and sick leave have been added into the $1.75 trillion spending bill after originally being dropped during negotiations. The Supreme Court on Wednesday seems ready to deny a restrictive New York gun permitting law, but the justices also seemed worried that a ruling could strengthen gun restrictions. The court was hearing argument in its biggest gun case in more than a decade, a dispute over whether New York's law violates the Second Amendment right. Conservative members of the court have a 6-3 conservative majority, suggested New York's laws goes too far. Cancellations are skyrocketing at American Airlines, causing frustrations for travelers. The airline cancelled more than 700 flights on Sunday. Since Fridays, about 1,900 flights were cancelled. The airline is blaming high winds that shut down its biggest airport, Dallas-Fort Worth International, and shortage of flight attendants. Southwest Airlines a couple of weeks ago cancelled more than 2,000 flights over several days because of weather, air traffic control issues, and suspected staffing issues due to their vaccine mandate. American Airlines says about 1,800 flight attendants are returning from leave soon, and it expects to hire more by the end of the year, as well as hiring more pilots for the holiday season. Some U.S. governors are planning on attending the 2-week United Nations Climate Change Conference in Glasgow. International leaders gather in Scotland for global efforts to reduce fossil fuel emissions and slow the planet's temperature rise. Though states and official parties in the talks, some states help sway how the nation takes on the climate change. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham is one of the governors attending. Astronomers are trying to research on how a hole that is 250 light years wide shown in the N44 Nebula. This glowing cloud of glass and dust is filled with stars from different ages. Pictures show the big hole of blackness through the Hubble telescope. Scientists are calling it a superbubble. They think it may have come from stellar winds. Another theory says it is an exploding star that caved it out. Researchers found that supernova remnants in the hole and say we should be safe from those explosions. N44 is 170,000 light years away from planet Earth. Now, students within the KENW counseling department may see more financial opportunities. To find out more, take a look at this.
The New Mexico Public Education Department was awarded a 5-year grant from the United States Department of Education focused on recruiting and retaining school behavioral health providers by offering financial assistance for qualifying students. I was able to catch up with counseling graduate student at Eastern New Mexico University, Brianna Gilligan, to discuss this opportunity and what exactly it meant for students.
The New Mexico Expanding Opportunities Project is a 5-year grant given by the New Mexico Public Education Department. This grant is a $10,000 stipend awarded to the student for doing their practicum and internship in a rural county. Any master's or doctoral level student that is pursuing a behavioral health major like counseling, psychology, or social work is eligible to receive this grant. The student must be from one of the top 5 biggest universities in New Mexico, which include the University of New Mexico, New Mexico Highlands University, Eastern New Mexico University, Western New Mexico University, or New Mexico State University. This is a special grant because it gives opportunities to students to get paid during their practicum and internship, which is usually not the case. So that's really helpful for us students.
Some more benefits of participation include up to $3,000 for tuition assistance for the first year, with increased funds available each year in the project, a licensure fee or an exam reimbursement of up to $300, and stipends for graduate students working in a rural school setting. For News 3 New Mexico, I'm Scott Hause.
That's all the news we have for you right now, but don't go anywhere because we'll be back with Sport News anchor Kiki after the short break.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Qitana Sapiga. Tonight we're going over who won the World Series and what's going on with Eastern Fall Sports. As of last night, the 2021 MLB World Series is over. The Atlanta Braves defeated the Houston Astros in Game 6 with the final score of 7-0. Prior to this season, the last time the Braves won a World Series was in 1995. They have a total of 4 championships, and they're the only team in the MLB franchise to have won a World Series in 3 different home cities. In 1914, they won in Boston. In 1957, they won in Milwaukee. And in 1995 and 2021, they won in the city of Atlanta. Congrats to the Braves and hats off to the Astros for a great season as well. Now let's get to Eastern sports. Greyhound soccer is having their senior night tonight at Greyhound Stadium at 7 o'clock. You can head over after the show. If you plan on going, let's go over who the graduating seniors are. First, there's Whitney Dockweiler from Bellevue, Nebraska, who came to Eastern after playing her first 2 collegiate seasons at Iowa Western Community College. Next up is Carly Kowalik from Wichita Falls, Texas, who is majoring in art. Alda Tirado is an international student who comes all the way from Barcelona, Spain. Tirado is majoring in physical education and plans to get her master's and will begin coaching in a soccer academy. Next is Mackenzie Mendez from Amarillo, Texas, who's getting a degree in sports management. Then, there's Katie Stiles from Odessa, Texas, who's majoring in criminal justice. Next is Brianna Tellis from El Paso, Texas, who's majoring in communication disorders. After college, Tellis says she plans to become a speech pathologist for children. Lastly, we have the team manager, Natalia West. She is also from El Paso, Texas, and she will be graduating with a degree in biology. Congratulations on a tremendous 4 years at Eastern New Mexico, and good luck in your future endeavors. Greyhound volleyball had another successful weekend, going 2-0. Friday night, they beat Texas A&M International in a long and grueling 5-set match on Friday. On Saturday, they swept Texas A&M Kingsville. As a result of these wins, 2 Hounds have been named the Lone Star Conference Setter of the Week and Offensive Player of the Week. Ray Sapiga, a senior from Long Beach, California, was named Setter of the Week after executing 31 assists in Friday's game. Last weekend, she averaged 7 assists per set, 4 aces, and 12 digs. These high numbers are nothing new to Sapiga, as she has surpassed a career high of 1,000 assists. She is currently at 1,263 assists, and she reached this achievement not even playing a full 4 seasons of collegiate volleyball. Because of COVID, the senior only played 3 seasons at Eastern. What an accomplishment. On top of that, she is currently number 2 in the Lone Star Conference for her aces. Her career high is 6 aces in a single match, and she averages 0.4 aces per game. Michaela Garvin, a freshman on the court from San Antonio, Texas, was named LSC Offensive Player of the Week for her 14 kills in Friday's game and her 13 kills on Saturday. This is Garvin's first collegiate season, and last weekend she averaged 3 kills per set and was hitting at a .4 percentage. Congrats to those Hounds and good luck. Their next game is this weekend on Friday at Lubbock Christian and on Saturday at Angelo State. Their season is wrapping up, so finish out strong, Hounds. All of Eastern's fall sports are coming to a close, which means these next 2 weekends are crucial because it is now time to prepare for postseason, should the teams qualify. I went ahead and broke down each team's conference record and overall record, as well as their current standing in the conference. Let's take a look at which of Eastern's teams will advance to the Lone Star Conference Tournament. Greyhound football remains in 7th place overall out of 8 teams, with a conference record of 1-5 and an overall record of 3-6. They have 2 more regular season games and then postseason play. After the Hounds play North American University this weekend, they'll close out their regular season with Texas A&M Commerce. Last season, the Hounds sat out due to COVID, and the season before that, in 2019, the Hounds did not make postseason. They did play in a bowl game against Southern Arkansas University, and they did win the Heritage Bowl. If the Hounds do not make postseason, they'll most likely find themselves in another bowl game. Greyhound soccer is currently 14th overall in the conference out of 14 teams. Their conference record is 0-10-1, and their overall record is 2-13-1. After tonight, they have one final matchup against the University of Tyler, then postseason for Lone Star Conference will begin. Lastly, Greyhound Volleyball has improved their conference record to 6-7 and their overall record to 6-15. When the preseason poll came out back in August before the season began, the Hounds were seeded at last in the conference, 18 out of 18 teams. This was mostly because Eastern did not play last season during COVID, but the rest of the Lone Star Conference did. Now, the Greyhounds are at 11th overall, and if the regular season were to be over at this point, the Hounds would qualify for the LSC tournament. However, that is not the reality, as they have 4 games remaining, and all the Greyhounds need is one more win to secure their spot in the tournament. The top 12 teams advance to the tournament. The top 4 teams will receive a bye for the first week, while the bottom 8 will play. The tournament will begin immediately after regular season is over and will go through Thanksgiving. For now, let's focus on these last 4 games and finish out strong. That will wrap up all of the sports updates I have for you tonight, but stay tuned and you'll be back at the desk with Olayinka after the break.
And that's it on our news package for today. Thank you very much for watching. I am Olayinka Sodunke.